Hey. We are live. We are live. Thanks for
Okay.
tuning in to another King and Priest Biblical Agreements and Discourse, or Biblical Agreements and Disagreements. And we do have those on this show when it comes to understanding the Bible. So, yeah, and we're coming on 3 hours later than normal. So, you know, we haven't, we're just hoping our viewers will look for us and see that whether we're on. We there's some of our viewers are tuning in now, but yeah. So we I just want to make sure that you all know that we haven't forgotten you. I had a few things I had to do today, um, and kind of unexpectedly. So the stream is coming on a little bit later than normal, and but we're here now. So yeah. So how's your week, sir?
Mine's is good. I'm King New Shoes Peanut, Haji McGrave,
Mhm.
Lewis
There you go.
King,
There you go. And I'm
and I'm
first one
doing
too.
great.
There you go. Perfect. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do is our show is, we're going to go over some of the things that we discussed before and actually play some excerpts of our previous shows to and expound on those a little bit as what we've already went over. So, yeah, so go ahead, sir. Go ahead and pray us in and we'll get started.
Okay. And it says, After this manner, therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Praise Jesus. Praise God.
Amen. Okay. Praise God. Praise Jesus. That's what I like
Yeah.
to say. Elohim, Jehovah, Allah, and praise Jesus. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah. But so we're going to get into today's show. We had quite a bit of scripture reading thus far, and the scripture reading thus far pretty much is who God is, and in my opinion, according to scripture, what I get out of it, God, of course, is a spirit, and it says worship God in spirit and truth. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my take on who God is, and so just to make sure that we're staying on point and staying within the guidelines of what the Bible uh, instructs us to do. I stay within those boundaries. I try not to deviate one way or the other. And so we're going to be getting into that. And of course, we're going to be getting our regular panel on, which is we're going to add uh, Nicole on the show. She's coming on right now.
Okay.
Nicole. How you doing, Nicole?
I'm good, you
Hi,
guys.
Nicole.
Hey, how you
Uh,
doing?
I'm good.
doing good. It must be okay. We're just talking about some of the things that we've already talked about, and we're just happy that you are able to join us once again. And
Thank
uh,
you.
and so yeah, we talked about, and we're going to read same thing, same format as we did last week. We're going to be talking about this time. We'll be talking about some more music and
Okay.
some more sports at the second hour. On the second hour, we'll be taking a break
Okay.
after the first hour. Come back and we'll be talking about that. But right now, we're going to go over some of the things that we talked about, and we're going to actually play some clips of some of the previous conversations we had, and we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So we're gonna. I thought you might, thought you all might like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first start off with what it seems as though I'm going to go by what it seems people are very interested in. Clips that people found very interesting, and there were a lot of views on it. So
Okay.
yeah, so this is one that got quite a few views, and
Okay.
we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about some other ones as well.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Let's get into this, and then like I said, we'll talk about that, and we'll get our opinions about these things. But it was basically what we're doing. We're just going over some of the things that we already went over, and we're just going to share uh, some of those conversations. Okay, so here we go. When we read scripture, there is a part of God that they see every day, and they walk on it. And if we use the word "in," we are enveloped with earth. This is what every element that we walked on, and the body in which we walk on it's got all the elements of the earth. Every element that we are walking around in is of earth. Scientifically proven that every single element that we possess, as far as our temple, our body is concerned, comes from this ground called earth. Okay, that's the reason why the name Adam means earthling, right? Yeah, that's what the name Adam means. It means earthling, right? But in fact, so uh, any comments about that?
Well, I
I
mean,
didn't know I meant Earthlink.
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because we closed the show yesterday, I mean last week, on a disagreement. Nicole disagreed and I disagreed. So basically, that's what the show's about, right? It's about disagreeing. We can agree to
Right.
disagree. Yeah, we
What
agree
did
to
we
what?
disagree.
disagree on?
That's what I was about to say. Why didn't you play
Well,
that film?
here's the reason why. Because AI, this is what AI does. It picks
Okay,
out.
Okay.
all right, okay,
It picks out. But I'm going to start doing
Yeah.
some of the clips, the search shorts myself. That way we can get to like for example, when we disagreed, we were talking about the second hour. So it was about Trump Biden. This is what we Nicole and I disagreed on what Trump and Biden was talking about.
Oh,
And
I
we'll get
remember.
yeah, and I'll play the clip of that too on the second hour.
Okay.
But this hour, of course, we're talking biblically, and so that's the reason why I'm asking the question. Did it was anything that you disagree with, and if there is,
People don't
we'll
understand.
we'll talk about it. But I guess
okay.
no disagreements on that.
Not on
I
that
mean,
particular
that,
clip.
that I mean, you talked about that last week, right?
People don't
Where
understand
you
Right,
was talking
that
about, you
this
say you
earth
and
that we
Nicole
live
disagreed
on
about
is
Biden.
a living,
right.
breathing organism.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me see.
And then, of
Let me
course,
find something here.
then people embrace
Um,
the baby daddy. That's my baby
Hold on a
daddy.
second. Let me get this.
I remember that
Yeah,
conversation too.
yeah, yeah. We had that conversation, right? Well, okay, so let's get to something. Let me see. Let me find something here. We can get to that. Well, the reason why I'm saying, first of all, the one that got a lot of views, right? This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about with the audience. The audience that said, "Oh yeah, we want to talk about, we like this short," and that's what That's what I'm going through now. And I'm
Got-
asking you all. I'm just saying to you all, is there something, for example, that you agree with or disagree with in terms of what was being said? And thus far, nobody said anything like they disagree.
Okay. I
That's
don't.
it. So and we're going to get into. I don't know if you can see uh, the screen. Let me see what you guys are looking at. If you can see, yeah, you can see the screen. Um, but I'm gonna go. Okay, so let me get to this real quick. Let me get to this real quick so we can get to what I'm talking about here. And on the short. So we're like right here. There's a short here. This was last week. We talked about this. this particular short we'll talk about in the next hour because it got 599 views, almost 600. And there's ones that got 1,000. You know, let me see. Let me find one that got 1,000. Here's the one that got 1,000 right here. That's for the next. That'll be next hour. Let me find another one, spiritual one, biblical one that we talked about. That got quite a few views. This one got quite a few views.
Now, when the blood doesn't go through the artery, then what sets in is called gangrene. Once gangrene sets in, then you have to have an amputation. So they didn't give me anything in Washington to stimulate my blood where it speeded up. They didn't give me anything to send my blood out where it would still go through the artery. So gangrene set into my feet. Okay. Now, edema is what caused it to happen. Okay. The lack of the blood being able to circulate because the water that built up. Okay. But now what I'm saying is that in view of all that, see what I'm saying? I'm a true child of the living God. I am a true child of the living God. Okay. I'm somebody that I've been through trials and tribulations. There's different things that happen. I've got a long ways to go. And Nicole asked a really important question the other day. She says, okay, Peanut, you're 68. Now, when the blood doesn't go through the artery, then what sets in is called gangrene.
Okay. So
yeah,
that's one that got quite a few views. When you were talking about about gangrene and yeah, and then what was it? Yeah, you were talking about when you're a child of the true living God. You know, that one got quite a people were interested in that particular dialogue that you were talking about. And,
it's about health. And health is big right now. Like Peanut is like the third person I know that had their foot or legs amputated.
Okay.
Possibly he's like the fifth person actually. I know somebody who lost their toe. I know somebody who lost their leg. I know somebody who had both legs amputated. Like it goes on and on and on. So I can see why people are interested in that clip because health is big and it's in the Black community. We shouldn't be losing. We shouldn't have to get amputated like this. So I'm glad you shared that clip because I really didn't even remember that conversation. But before the gangrene, Peanut, what caused gangrene to set in?
What caused gangrene to set in is called reoccurring edema. Edema is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but edema is something that can make you lose limbs because what happens is edema is a fluid and the fluid sets in to your limbs and it closes off the flow of blood through your arteries. And so since the blood isn't flowing through your arteries, quite naturally gangrene is going to set in. And then once the gangrene sets in, I have what's called reoccurring edema. I still have it. But the thing is that me, I'm such an optimist. And just like what I was saying when I said Nicole said, hey, you know what I'm saying? You're 68. Okay, what are you going to do for your next 68 years? And I have plans for that. I do. I plan on aligning myself with the power that is giving one's, just like before they cut the life of man down to 120 years in Genesis 6. See, there is a source out there that gives one's life, just like Methuselah. He lived to be 969 years old. Mm-hmm. And so you know that there's a source out there that gives longevity to life. And so that's what I'm plugging into that. But now, me, I'm such an optimist, and me, I don't put any limitations on God, okay? Just like I might look one way one day, I might look another way another day, but I know that God is the one that's in control. And I know that God is the one, because it says already in Genesis 6, in Genesis 6, it says that he shortened the days of man. And then if you go back and you figure out, okay, Methuselah lived 969 years, then you know he cut the life of man down a lot, not just a
Yep.
little bit. So you have those sources out there that are designed to give long life. Okay, so that's what I try to zero in on. It's biblical. It's in the Bible. Okay, it's in the Bible, and it is to for me. I feel to line myself up with that, I have to be pleasing to God, because what does it say? Okay, if I went to Genesis 6 right now, I go to Genesis 6, and what did it say happened? What it says happened
It
is,
said, go ahead, go ahead and say what happened.
okay, that God was displeased with man. Okay,
Well, he
I'll
was,
read it.
well, what happened? Yeah, he was displeased, but there was something that happened that made him even more so displeased. When
Well,
the sons of God, go ahead, read it. Just read it. Just go ahead and read
okay,
it.
it says, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Then this is 6:2, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they choose.
Mhm.
3, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Okay. And then it says
Right.
4. See, and what happened is that I do things that I believe are pleasing to God. Just like in Hosea 10:13, it says, do not, one of the things that it said is that it said lies, wickedness, and that ones became to where they were really infatuated. Okay. They really felt that the multitude of man, the multitude and the power of man was something real powerful. Okay. They didn't look at God's power being powerful. They looked at multitude of man being powerful in Hosea 10:13. So I take all that out of it. Okay. I said, well, I know that God was displeased with man because he said so in Genesis 6. Okay. And I know that in Hosea 10:13, he says that uh, wickedness, lies, and one's real belief in the power of the multitude of mighty men was something that they really started to adhere to as being a power, which basically the power is God. Okay, the main instrument is God, and it gives men the insight on how to do certain things. But people mistake that for the power, that the multitude of man is really all that powerful. Now, me, I take men out of the equation. Okay, I put me in the equation, and I go back to Genesis where it said God was displeased with man. Okay,
Yeah, but
it
yeah,
said that,
but it was the sons of man that was breeding with man. So it was sons. It said, remember, you got to remember, it said the sons of God was taking women, human, the
yeah,
women.
they right,
There was
right.
something that took place. There wasn't just man's wickedness, but there were some things that happened that
So
caused,
what? The sons of God
yeah.
did what?
The
Okay,
sons
this
of
is what it
okay,
says.
okay. So before you do that, let's just okay. Well, go ahead. You read your concordance, and after you finish that, I'll consort. I'm gonna consort them for myself. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, now what it says here, the title in the King James Version says man's wickedness. And then 6:1 it says, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, 2, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they choose. 3, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Now,
Okay.
you have to understand that the wickedness of man. that was probably just one of the acts of the wickedness of man. But the wickedness of man had been brought to God's attention, and He wasn't pleased with man.
Well,
Okay.
okay, let's I hear what you're saying, but let's stick with what the scripture says, okay? And the scripture
Mhm.
says that the sons of God started having relationships with the human,
The daughters of men.
right? Yeah, the daughters of men. See, so there was something that happened, right? So we
Mhm.
can't say that, oh yeah, it just there was something that happened, So
Of course.
you can't discount what took place prior to this 120 years limitation, right? Yeah.
Right.
So see, and so when you start talking about that particular scripture, you have to start talking about the sons of God, right? And you can find the sons of God in I mean not Moses, but in Job. In Job, when you read the first couple of verses in Job, it talks about the sons of God in Job. See, so these are the
And,
things that
and then
we,
the first part of Job, in the
yeah,
first
first,
part of Job, okay, just like it talks of, I know it says Satan was amongst them. Okay,
right,
hold on a
exactly,
second.
yeah, right, yeah,
Okay, now it says it says here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get to it. It says here, Job. I'll read Job. It says Job 1:1. It says there was a man in the land of Oz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. 2. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. 3. His substance always was 7,000 sheep and 300 camel and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she asses and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. 4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. 5. And it was so when the days of their feasting were gone about that Job sent and sanctified them and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, may be there it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. 5. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. Okay, that's what you were talking about right there.
right.
Okay.
Go to read 6.
Okay. And let me. 6 says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. Then
Okay,
7,
stop right
and
there.
the Lord.
Stop. Okay. See, that's fine. That's all. That's all. We know that the sons of God came and approached, and Satan was with them. He was one of the sons of God, right? Satan was with them, right? See, so when we talk about this particular verse in Genesis 6, when it talks about the sons of God, these
Mm-hmm.
are, these are the ones that, may have been like Satan or cause some chaos or cause some confusion, and so God says, this is, you guys are now ain't what I intended you to be, right? That's what I want to, kind of explain. See, and so, and that's why I say, what happened prior to the 120-year limitation. See, that's what we need to understand. Certain things happen.
So it's like
Right?
the same thing that happened with the Garden of Eden when we're supposed to have everlasting life already, and then somebody ate from a tree, and now we die. And so the rules keep changing, in other words. So, like that rule is, so first we died, but we at least lived almost 1,000 years. So now we live 120 years and then we die because the rules change.
Well,
Right?
the, just like, let me just say this, okay? Uh, just like Billy, one of our relatives that passed away, okay, he said that the forbidden fruit was basically what I had talked about in Hosea 10:13. So tie this into what you're thinking right there, okay? Tie this into what you're thinking right there, and
Okay.
then let me get to it and read it to you. Now, think of the forbidden fruit as being this, okay? Think in your mind, this is the forbidden fruit, okay? The forbidden fruit is, ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity, ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou doest trust in thy way, in the multitude of thy mighty men. Okay? Now, see, that is part of the forbidden fruit. Okay? That is part of the forbidden fruit. Now, when it talks about the Son of God, see, the sons of God were supposed to be certain things that were somewhat angelic. Okay? They were somewhat angelic. It says sons of God, angelic beings. Okay? That's what it talks about in Job 1. 2, scholars are disagreed whether Genesis 6:2-4 refers also to angelic beings or instead to righteous worshipers of God, in contrast to worldly men. But now that's what it says. That's what it says about the sons of God. Now you have to understand that. However they mount it up, okay, however they mount it up, or whatever they want to cause or say was going on, you have to realize that there was a time when men lived to be 969 years old.
Right.
Okay. Now, here it is that, and you have to keep in mind that men lived that long after Adam had eaten of the forbidden fruit. Men still lived that long.
They lived that
Now,
long. The punishment was death. Still, after Adam ate the forbidden fruit, the
right,
punishment was
right,
death.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. But now you have to keep in mind that Adam had already eaten forbidden fruit. Now, I just said what the forbidden fruit was, okay? When I read Hosea 10:13, that was a forbidden fruit. That caused them to want to exalt themselves above God. So now you have to stop and you have to say, well, now here it is. Methuselah lived 969 years after Adam had eaten of the forbidden fruit. Okay. Now, then you go from that time to where here it is. He shortens their days from 969 years down to 120. Okay. So you have to say, okay, Adam had eaten of the forbidden fruit. Hosea 10:13. Exalted himself above God. Disobeyed God. Now, man was still living 969 years. He didn't have a forever because the ultimate plan was for ones to have a forever. Okay. They were supposed to live forever. Okay. And God was supposed to be their instrument that caused them to live forever and be their inspiration. Okay. But when they started eating of the forbidden fruit, okay, he took away their eternal powers, but he still allowed them to live, some of them, like Methuselah, 900 years or more. Then it got to where he was in Genesis 6 and he says, hey, I'm not going to even let them live 900 years. I'm only going to let them live 120 years because they're so bad. Okay, so
That's crazy that you said this is Genesis 6. Genesis is the first book of the Bible. These are
yeah,
the
that's a,
first people on earth that ever lived. And look at the punishment already.
Genesis. Genesis is the first book of the Bible, right? Yeah,
Right. And we're only
yeah.
on Genesis 6. I don't know how many stories there is in that, but just look at the punishment already. Is all I'm pointing out.
Well, we have to see in order, just like me, I align myself with the truth. Okay, because what did it say the forbidden fruit was? Wickedness, lies, and one's having faith in the power of the multitude of mighty men on the earth. So I take all that and I assess it and I say, well, now here it is. If I want to live a long time, even to forever, if I want to get past 120 years, okay, I have to fasten myself to something that is not tied into lies, not tied into wickedness, and not tied into my belief or believing in the power of the multitude of mighty men. And so that's what I do.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, I, I, you know, uh, I get all what you're saying, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
but what I want to what I want to say is
Okay.
that you know when you uh, live a certain kind of way, con-
Mm-hmm.
you know, contradictory to what you're supposed to do. It doesn't matter what you say you have. You know, if you don't have, you can say that all you want to. You know,
Okay.
but you got to
I
have.
didn't quite understand. I didn't. You say start from the beginning because I kind of you kind of lost me. Okay. Start from
Okay,
the beginning. All right.
let me. Okay, so I have some footage of you smoking a cigarette, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yes, yeah, see, and that type of that will cut your life. I don't care what you say, that's going to cut your life. Okay, you can tell me I got it forever, all you want to,
Yeah.
right? And that is going to cut your life. It's the everlasting life. This, this, yeah, they was show me where these cats were smoking cigarettes in the Bible and living to 900 years. I ain't never heard it before, but I'm just
Well,
saying.
what I'm
You
saying
know,
is this:
but,
is
but,
I
but,
don't.
but this is what you didn't say. You didn't say I don't smoke cigarettes.
No, I didn't say that. I
No,
didn't say
right?
that.
Yes,
No.
no, right. You
Okay.
didn't say that. So I said
No.
somebody. You didn't say I don't smoke cigarettes. In
But
fact,
let
No.
in
me
fact,
but on the other hand, there are people who have never smoked, who eat perfectly fine, who have never put a bad thing, so-called bad thing in their body, and they have died young. They have caught diseases, all kinds of
Thank you.
stuff happens. So there's no telling.
Thank you, Nicole.
right,
Thank you,
right,
Nicole.
right, right, right. Well, I'm glad you said that, Nicole, because
Because let him who hasn't sinned cast the first stone. I'm just
that's fine. Now listen, I don't mind. Right? Listen. You remember, if you recall,
okay.
in conversation, I have never said, "Oh, I need you to agree with me." No, I said this is what the show is about. It's about saying what you think, and saying what's
Right,
on your mind,
right.
and that's what.
Um,
And so I embrace that. You see, so I mean, what I'm
yeah,
saying is that I'm not the person. I'm not necessarily saying that a person who's never done anything is not going. He's going. That's he's supposed to live for a long time. You got certain things that happen. Let me give you an example.
okay.
My mother smoked when I was in her womb. I was smoking too, right? I was
Okay.
smoking too. I was
Okay.
I was smoking them cigarettes just like she was smoking them cigarettes. She didn't
Okay.
quit. She didn't quit smoking cigarettes until after her father died. Once her father died, all of a sudden I ain't smoking no more cigarettes. And I'm not gonna die like Arthur did. The same way she said, right? And she quit smoking, right?
Yeah.
Then for whatever reason, my father decided, well, since she stopped, I'm gonna start.
Okay.
And he had health issues. But what I'm saying to you, on in reference to your comment, there are
Yeah.
some things that can happen. Like for example, me, I can have bad health, never did anything wrong, but because my mother was smoking, I was smoking too. So I inherited the illness from that. You see, and that's the reason why this, for example, one person asked me one time, he said about the garden, it was a Jehovah Witness, and he
Okay.
decided to ask me a question. He said, "Well, what do you think happened in the garden?" Because he was, because they get taught a certain thing, and then so he wanted to ask me, because see, none of them was like they said no one um, can can study with you unless they're elders. I said, "Well, okay, that's cool. I don't mind, who elders studying with elders, but the elders, it was hard for them to find an elder that would study with me." One person said, because you have to study, and the witnesses, to be baptized, they have to approve you, which is something I never heard of before. But they got to approve you to say, okay, they're good, and to become a witness. But this is what happened. He asked me what I thought happened in the garden. I said, well, whatever they ate, it spread it. I said they didn't have no toilets there. So what they ate, if they ate something, they defecated it into the ground, and whatever happened, it began to grow. Right? Yeah, because in Scripture you'll read where it says, "Cut every non-fruit bearing tree down. Only use the non-fruit bearing tree for housing, for shelter." But when you look outside, all you see is non-bearing fruit trees. The only fruit trees that you see is in somebody's orchard where they're selling the fruit, right? Yeah, for money. That's the only
Okay.
time you'll find a bunch of fruit, fruit bearing trees, unless you decide to put some fruit, on your property, right? But if you would go outside, you don't see no fruit bearing trees. But it's clear in the Bible, cut down non-fruit bearing trees, and all you see out here is non-fruit bearing trees. Once again, only fruit bearing trees that you see is in somebody's orchard, and they harvesting the fruit and selling it to market. So these are the things that people don't quite understand, how this everlasting principle eroded. Now you got wars now, right? They got all these wars out here. It's still it's they think these wars are good. These wars are terrible. They're the worst thing that can happen because it ends life. And this ending of life is causing people to we the rest of us, it's effect on the rest of us, right? They think, oh, it have no effect on. Yes, it does. It has tremendous effects on all of us, but they don't think like that. And so until they do, we're gonna be subjected to not living very long. Bottom line, but there's a lot. King Newshoot, we're talking about, Hosea 10, was it 13?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay, yeah, but there's a lot of things that we're talking about in the Bible regarding, you know, uh, things like uh, pride. You can say pride was the reason why, this this guy decided to cut the lifespan of man because of his pride. Lies was one of them as well. Yeah, you can talk about lies. But the thing is clear that, for example, if we treated each other like we want to be treated, we wouldn't be in this. We wouldn't have this glut. If we all got paid for being good to each other, that was our reward. Instead of having to die to see it. If the reward was, and it's supposed to be here on earth, like it is in heaven. But that's not what's going on
So,
here.
Ted,
Yeah.
okay, not to cut you off, okay?
Yeah, okay, no, go
So,
ahead.
just like I gave you my theory okay, about how I'm approaching, okay, my forever and the
Right.
things that I'm trying to do. Okay, what
Right.
is your theory? What is your theory? If
Well,
you don't mind me asking.
my theory
Yes.
is yeah, I'm getting ready to tell you.
Okay.
My theory is in the beginning of the Bible, before we get to um, Revelation. No. Before we get to Genesis, before we get to Genesis 2. No. Before we get to Genesis 1:26. So 1:20. So like from Genesis 1:10 through 1 1:25. That's where it talks about the food and what we're with the food that we're supposed to be eating, what kind of food we're trying to eat. Those things is where I figure how I see us get into that forever. You know, yeah,
So you think it's the
that's how.
food that we'll be eating?
Well, that's part of it, yeah, because you see,
Okay.
let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
When we go to Leviticus, it clearly tells you. This is another thing with the witnesses. They were talking to me, and they were telling me,
All
I
right.
would say, well, wait, I said, what's the problem? You got to eat a lot of meat. You ain't, the Bible says, don't have any. And this is what they say. Okay, like for example, they don't have blood transfusion. Jehovah
Okay.
Witness won't have blood
Yeah,
transfusion.
right.
But yet and still, I had to tell him. I said, well, in that meat that you eating right there, that steak you keep talking about, there's some blood. There's some blood in there. It might be
And what?
brain. This guy was talking about his juicy steak, having a
Mm-hmm.
nice juicy steak, and I was saying that juicy steak got blood in it, right? That
All right.
that juicy steak that you eating got blood in it, and you don't want no transfusion. You got to be careful about that juicy steak that you eat. So that's why I
Okay.
told him. The same elder who said, I'll study with him. Okay, well, come on, bro. You can study. Feel me? Yeah, but he was always asking me, how, where did how'd you come up with this stuff? I said, well, it's only common sense, if something happened and it says that about the trees, right? You cut all trees that does not bear fruit down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see? And so it's like, for example, you have, if you cultivate certain things,
Uh-huh.
like cannabis,
Huh?
like cannabis. You cultivate things like
Cannabis.
cannabis. Yeah, cannabis, weed.
Yeah.
I understand weed, and you can't have a male plant in there for the THC to be strong, right? And it's going to be
Right.
and at certain times it's when it's going to get when it gets stronger at night and when in the dark. That's when it happens. So you got female. It's a female plant.
Excuse
Female
me.
plant. Sure,
Uh-huh.
it's a female plant.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, and so you have if it was a male plant in there, they would have all these seeds, right? These seeds to grow more plants. Yeah, they do that, but for that THC to be strong, there's female plants in there, going back and forth, making the
You have to
THC
separate the
strong.
male plant from the female plant
Right,
for it to bud,
that's right. Yeah,
for
right,
it to
exactly.
cluster.
Yeah, cluster, so
Okay.
cluster. That's
So,
it. The cluster.
Okay.
so is it just the foods that we eat that's going to give us everlasting life, or is there something else
No,
we need to
no,
do?
it's also
I
well,
think it's God. God is going to give you everlasting life.
well, man, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got nothing to worry about, sir. If that's the case, and neither does a whole lot of other people. If that was the case, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, because you said you said God.
I can just base it on my belief and how I'm going about it.
So when
I
you
can't
say
blame.
it's
I can't.
God, so when you say it's God, do you mean our belief in God, following God,
Mm-hmm. You
like what?
you believe in God. You believe in God. Okay. Following, just like breaking away from what it says. Okay, in Hosea 10:13, it tells you what the forbidden fruit was. Now, if you break away from that, okay, you break away from that, okay, then you're not in direct sin nature, okay? You're not in direct sin nature with what caused it to be where sin was cast upon all because Adam had ate of the forbidden fruit. So you break away from that. This is what I do. Okay. I break away from that. I align myself with God. I say, God is the one. Like I'll see a big skyscraper being built. I say, those men are not the ones that's really building that. God is instructing them and giving them the proper instructions. God is who's building that. Okay, look at this computer that I'm on right now. I say, okay, man didn't make this. God made this. Okay. I take man out of the equation because it's God's doing. Okay. And sometimes even when I'm doing something, I say, if it's God's will, just like I have it forever, but only if it's God's will. Okay. So I believe that God has put me in the right position to be able to have one. Okay. And I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not frustrated or disgruntled about things in the Bible and the things that's going on and the things that people say. Because
okay, so let me ask you this question, sir. I'm not going to cut you. I'm going to let you talk all you want after I ask you this one question. Just one question, right?
Okay.
Who is King New Shoes Peanut and who is Haji McGray? Who's that?
Okay.
He
King
liked that
issues.
question.
Huh?
I said you like that question.
Well, I mean, come on. King Issues Peanut is the name that I was famous under, a sports nickname back in 1982, 1983, 1984. Okay. It's a sports nickname that was attached to me. And who gave me the name? The professional football announcers gave me the name King New Shoes Peanut. I didn't give myself that name.
So here's my next question. Is that the truth or is that a lie?
That's the truth.
That's the truth, right? That's the truth.
Yeah.
So that's not a lie. But let's say, for example, that's not the truth. Does that eliminate you from having it forever? If it's not the truth, would that eliminate you from having a forever?
Would that eliminate me from having okay, you asked me where did the name come from? I tried to explain it to you as best I could.
You did.
Okay, but now
that's fine.
But now but my name.
If it is not the truth, it must be a lie. And if it's a lie, does that mean you still have it forever?
It's not a lie, but my forever aligns with God. It doesn't align with the name that the professional sports announcers, football announcers gave me when I was playing football.
That's fine. When you said it when you were playing football. When you playing football, that's fine. We're going to leave it at that. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it at that because it's very important, right? When we start talking about certain things, that we make sure we align ourselves up with, especially when we say we're talking about the truth, right? Not a lie.
Okay.
I'm just going by what you said. That we continue in that vein, the truth. Okay. The truth. That's a lie. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying, right? Because let me give you a good example. This example you can relate to, right?
Okay.
I was lied on. I was lied on, right? Somebody said I hit him. I hit him with a car, right? I hit him with a car. And they carried that line. They kept all through the court system. I hit him with a car. I hit you with a car. What are you talking about? And there's proof that I didn't hit him with a car, right? But now what's happening is the truth is coming to light.
Okay.
Yeah. There's going to be a reward for me being diligent in making sure this truth, this lie, was not manifest as the truth. See, it's only a lie. Let me put it this way. A lie is only the truth if you believe it. I repeat, a lie is only the truth if you believe it. See, so you can manifest. You can manifest all kinds of lies that you believe is the truth.
Okay.
Right. See, and that's what we need to be careful of. See, so
you said a lie is only the truth if you believe it. That means it's the truth.
Well, it's the truth in your mind if you believe it. It doesn't mean it's the truth. But it means Well,
Because
I'm
you
being
don't know who's
specific.
watching it. So if you
I
say
am being
it's the
specific.
truth, if you believe it,
Yeah, right.
then
In other
you
words,
can say
right, right,
whatever.
right, yeah, right.
You
See,
don't
like,
you believe it.
okay, so let me put it this way, and here's something that maybe you can understand, Nicole, right? see, yeah, you
Hey,
see, yeah, you see. For example, here's a good example. You decide, Nicole, that you're going to help your family out, Nicole, and the family people that you helped out when the foot was on when the shoe was on the other foot, maybe they didn't come through for you. I'm just saying, give you an example. This is an example. And
Okay.
were those people who you feel like true family members, right?
Okay.
And your hour of need didn't come through to help you, were they in fact true family members?
As in family members, yeah. If they're related to
Okay,
me, they are family
okay,
members.
okay. So family members that are related to you, that means they're exempt from proving that they really love you or care about you to come. Like for example, what you would do for them, they wouldn't do for you. The only reason why they're still family members, true family members, because they're related to you.
Right. Because more than likely they will not do for me what I do for them.
Okay, all
I
right.
pretty
Well,
much know that going into
okay,
it.
okay. Well, there you go. There you go. Then you you uh have came to a resolution. The finality. In other words, the conclusion that they're not going to do for you like you're going to do for them, right? But
Okay.
but they're still true family members. Like for example, let's say for example, a stranger reached out and helped you and did some things for you that your family members wouldn't do. Are they just a strangers to you? They're still a stranger to you, or do they mean something to you now that they
They may
showed?
not be a stranger. They're not a stranger no more, but they're not my family. They're not
Okay,
family members.
okay, okay. They're not family members. Okay, so
They're not a stranger.
they're not a stranger, but they're not a family member. Okay, all right, all
I
right.
mean,
So
if we're talking
you're right.
about blood
You
family,
hey, you're right, Nicole. Hey, Nicole, you're right. You're right.
because blood
uh-huh.
is blood, right?
Okay, okay,
That's
okay,
there's
okay.
lineage to
Yeah,
that.
well, that's fine. That's fine. Well, I'm glad that King Louis Shoes Peanut is agreeing with you. But the
Yeah.
Bible doesn't. The Bible doesn't agree with neither one of you. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
well, what does the Bible say?
The Bible
And
says that the stranger who embraces you, in the truth,
mm-hmm.
is considered a brother or a sister. The sojourner. Look at that. You got your consortium, sir. You always got your consortium. You got your consortium now. the
Okay.
sojourner.
What is the word called? What is the word called?
Sojourner. The sojourner. It's yeah. Let me see if I can
Sojourner.
spell it. Yes, yes, sojourner. Right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. In other words, a stranger who decides to embrace you and to
Uh-huh.
follow. Yeah, yeah. They're considered a brother or a sister. Yeah, that's what the Bible says, right? Yeah, I'm just saying what
Yeah,
the
I didn't.
Bible says. Mhm.
It says sojourn. It says dwell
Sojourn. Right there.
temporarily. Huh?
Go ahead, read it.
Okay, sojourner. It says stranger. I am a sojourner with you. Okay, Genesis 23:4. Cities
Mhm.
of refuge for sojourners. Okay,
Okay. All right. Well, anyway,
so
there's more scripture than that
mhm.
talks about them being uh, part of your tribe if they come to you in earnest and want to be a friend, a loving friend to you. You're supposed to bring them in. Yes, they're part of us. They're part of the family now. That's easy to understand. That's just like somebody marrying somebody outside. They're not a family member. They marry somebody in the family. Now they're family. They're not related to you, but they marry somebody that is related to you. They become part of the family. That's easy to
Well,
understand. But
I mean, I'm just saying, just like where Nicole was talking about, she was talking about the actual biological family tree. Okay, she was talking about the actual
Right.
biological family
Right.
tree. And because they didn't help her out, if they didn't help her out, that wouldn't stop them from being a biological part of the family tree. Okay.
That would
And
that
if
would never
somebody
do
else,
it.
huh?
No, that would not do that. But let me give you another example. Let's
Okay.
say somebody in the family decides, well, you know what, I'm gonna rob. They're my family. I'm gonna rob them anyway. I'm gonna take from them. I'm gonna steal from them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're still, you can still consider them family, but you can't consider them good family. I mean, you can't be like, for example, thinking, well, they're so cool. I mean, I'm gonna keep inviting them over to my house. They can steal more from me. You ain't gonna be thinking like that, are you? I'm just
No,
asking the question. Yeah, I'm just asking the question, right? Yeah, see, so
Right.
you gotta see that they have to qualify as a family member, and not just once, but many, many times, right? In other words, it's gonna be easy for them when they look at you with you have a relationship. They're gonna care about you. They're gonna do the things that help you out. You know, yeah, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do the things that help. But shoot, these days, you ain't listen. With one family member got, I mean, you gonna help. You gonna help you get. You know, he ain't not gonna give you their last. I mean, I don't expect people to go around, and I don't anyway. Ask family for anything. I don't. You know, I mean, 'cause
All right.
I don't feel like in my particular case, you know, I pride myself on learning something new every single day. I just got my car running. I dropped the engine in myself. It's running like brand new. You know what I mean? I learned how to do that. So that's the reason why I got a car that's running like brand new. You know
That's
what I mean?
great.
Yeah, see, and that's basically what, you know, that's basically what I do. You know, so,
That's
you
great.
know, until,
And
yeah,
hey, I was going to suggest something to you, Ted.
what's that?
I was going to suggest something to you. Okay, you had
Wait,
talked about your engine hoist. You should probably just knock on a few doors because people have doorbell cameras. Knock on a few doors in the area, and maybe you'll be able to get some information on
right.
why it was. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's just a thought. Do it in a peaceful manner, of course, but you might be able to pick up some information.
Yeah, you know, I'm not even going to worry about it because I don't have the facilities. That's the reason why they was able to get to the engine hoist in because I didn't have facilities to do it at my own house. So I
Right.
could put my yeah. I had to do it. Yeah, I had to do that at the Meadowview Light Rail Station. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had to do it at a light rail station so I can drop the engine in. So my tools I kept, but the engine hoist, yeah, they was able to get that engine hoist.
But
They was able to get that.
I would still, because there's somebody's got them on camera. Okay, just that's
Okay,
just food for thought. That's just some
okay,
food for thought. But I mean, see, one thing that I do is this, right? I try to make sure that I try to think things out as best as I possibly can. Okay,
okay,
and in doing so, you know what I'm saying. I try to put God in the equation. I try to say,
okay.
if it's God's will or God help me, you know what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
figure this situation out so that I could get the best results from it. Now,
Okay,
so far, right? I mean, here it is. You know what I'm saying? I've had so many ones compliment me on so many things that I've done, okay? And
okay,
I'm just at the beginning, okay? I'm just at the beginning.
okay,
And
okay,
and, and right now I'm trying to get some more information that was put in some medical files, but you have to understand that I mean, God will open up doors. God will make a way out of no way. Okay, and
that's absolutely right. Okay, that's
so
absolutely right. Okay, so what we're gonna do? We're on that note. We're gonna take a 5 minute break. We're gonna come back here. We can keep pick up where we left off, or we can talk about current events. You know, whichever way you guys want to do it, it's fine with me. But we're gonna take a 5 minute break, and we'll be back. How's that
okay,
sound?
all
okay.
right.
All right, he's being arrested. They're now arresting him for being.
All right. We're back. We're back for the second hour, and of course, we're gonna open it up, having conversation about any and everything, current events, things that happened, in the last couple of days, or a couple of hours, or seconds ago, or whatever. And yeah, so we're gonna start talking about that. King Newton's Peanut. Is there anything that you want to bring to light? Last week you talked about Jay Leno and
Yeah,
the Leno law,
yeah.
and so yeah, and so this week you got anything for us, or you just gonna kick back and relax and let Nicole go ahead and talk about what's happening? Go ahead, sir. I'm listening. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, I mean, last week, you had brought up the point about King New Shoes Peanut and different things like that. And before we could really get into a conversation about it, there were some other issues that came up, and
Okay,
so we talked
you
about them. And well, what's going on with me is that, to be honest with you, okay, I feel that I possibly have been erased from the United States of American history. I believe that I played NFL, Major
okay,
League Baseball,
okay,
okay, NBA, okay,
okay,
and box between 1982 and 1984.
okay,
Now, that name right there, King New Shoes Peanut, was
mhm,
my sports nickname, King New Shoes
okay,
Peanut. And
okay,
I was okay. I was okay. I mean, there are a few things as far as certain things, just like in in boxing, right? I box under a stage name, Melvin Taylor, and
okay,
there's a clip that I showed you, okay, that had to do with the pre-fight for Julio Cesar Chavez. Now,
okay,
Julio Cesar Chavez, actually, I hit him with a body blow in the early rounds. Okay, his feet came off the canvas. He left the ring. Actually, I won that fight. Okay, but they're saying that it didn't happen that way. But the thing about it is this, right? There's a clip in the pre-fight, me preparing for that fight where you'll see Lester Brownlee, because Lester Brownlee was part of my training crew at the time, and you will see, and I showed it to you. I says, Ted, go 30 so many seconds into this pre-fight, and you'll see Lester Brownlee, and it shows him right there, Lester Brownlee. Okay, me and him was running. Now here it is. You have to understand something. See, the things that I did back then in the '80s and stuff like that. Okay, it was away from my memory for a long time. So for me to say that other people should remember it, I would be wrong for doing that, because
okay,
from 1984, 85, all the way until about 2000 or the late 1990s, it was away from my memory that I did that. But
okay,
now here it is. You have to understand something. It's still something that the historians in sports should have had in their information. Now
okay,
I'm writing a book, right? And the book that I'm writing is called You Already Know Me. You
okay,
Already Know Me. And
mhm,
it's being put out by what's called Bestseller Book Bureau. And
okay,
it talks about these things that I'm discussing right now, the people that I knew back in the
okay,
80s when I was playing sports. And
yeah,
and to be honest with you, it's being somewhat investigated by San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department or Police Department under
mhm,
case number 1825
okay,
04016. It's actually an investigative number for me being the victim of fraud. Now,
yeah,
for years, things have been happening, and as far as I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying. I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it real, okay. And
okay,
and and there's a lot of people that say they don't remember, but it's like I say, there was a time from 1984 until damn near 2000 or late 1990s that I didn't remember myself. So I can't be mad at people for not remembering, but I want them to correct the error that's been made. I want them to correct it, okay? And in them doing so, it's a possibility that I will gain financially. But my main purpose is my identity being restored and the truth being put forward. Now, I know you said you don't remember it, which is fine. I mean, that is, I mean, I'm not trying to make somebody remember. Okay, see, that's the fight that I'm talking about right there. Okay, now here it is. You have to say, well, aren't there fingerprints for that fight? I've tried to get the fingerprints. So far, I haven't been able to get them. It was a unification title fight. Okay, we were both fighting in the same weight class, but we both had different titles. Okay, one was World Boxing Council, and one was the Federated or something like that.
So which one is you?
That one with the red on. Okay, that one with red on. Okay, so now here it is. You have to understand something, that I'm going to have ones go and try to get the fingerprints for that fight, because the fingerprints is what tells you and what will tell you who actually fought in an actual fight. Okay. But like I said,
you're saying, just to be clear, that that individual on the right side of the screen,
the one with the red belt on, the one with the red belt on,
that's you.
That's me. Okay.
So that person is saying that's Mildred Taylor. It's not really Mildred Taylor. That's his name.
They say Mildred Taylor. They say Mildred Taylor, the person that was claiming to be Mildred Taylor, he's already passed away. But what I'm saying is that the fingerprints is what will prove what was going on, and the actual fight.
Champions. Chavez, WBC super lightweight titleist, is regarded by many as the best fighter in the world.
Right.
Taylor reigns as the IBF's junior welterweight.
That guy's you right there.
That there is Julio Cesar Chavez right there.
No, this guy right here.
That's me right there. Yeah.
That's right there. Okay, that's you.
That's me right there.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, not a problem.
Thanks for sharing.
Not a problem. Not a problem. And you have to get the fight. You have to get the fight where Richard Steele was the referee and it went 12 rounds. Richard Steele, the referee, and it went 12 rounds. Okay. Okay. That's it right there, though. That's it. So, hey, but I mean, the thing about it is that, see, I mean, I'm such an awesome individual, right? I'm such an awesome individual, and I'm such somebody that's shielded by God, you know what I'm saying? So tremendously that, you know, I've been doubted mostly all my life, okay? I've been doubted mostly all of my life.
Okay.
Huh?
Look. I'm just saying that, you know, we just, you know, current events, you know, we spent some time on the current event that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So that was something that I wanted to speak on. And ones out there that remember King New Shoes Peanut in Sports, that remember or have any pictures or anything like that, please bring them forward. Okay, you can put them on Ted King's ministry. You can put them on Nicole's. What is it called? Them Parks. I don't have a personal site myself. I would say you could go to. You can look up King New Shoes Peanut, where I'm on a chat line, but I don't get too much mail there. But you know what I'm saying? Here it is. You know what I'm saying? I would leave it in God's hands for them to share something with me, because it's starting to come out. Okay, it's coming out right now. I live in my fabulous RV in an RV park, my fabulous RV. And you know what I'm saying? I have a little car that's been good to me. God bless me with a little car that hasn't given me any problems. It's been really good to me. And I mean, this has been my roof over my head. And that's been my main transportation. Both of them run good though. Okay. And hey, you know what I'm saying? When the money starts to come in, the thing about it with me is I don't know if I'll be able to stay in the United States of America. I might have to go somewhere else. But you know, it's been a blessing doing the Bible studies, and I'm going to continue to do them. And it's been a blessing that God has kept me all this time. Okay. Here it is. God has kept me. And here I am to this very day, still alive. You know what I'm saying? Still doing things. And hey, I got to give the credit to God. So now that's pretty much one of the things I wanted to talk about, because we were fixing to talk about it last week, but we kept on talking about other subjects. So I wanted to get that shout out. You know what I'm saying? And hey, just like you have to understand something that right now, what's going on is they're doing some real estate searches. They're doing real estate searches because on every real estate parcel that I presented to San Bernardino, they're saying they can't find any of the building permits. Now, some building permits go back 100 years or more, right? And they're saying, so you built these in the 80s, yeah. And we're not able to find the building permits. That's odd. And I think that's one of the reasons that they decided to really investigate. And I mean, just the properties that I had, as much as property has went up. Okay, a house back in '84, a house that was like for, let's say, $20,000. Okay, that house, a lot of those houses in California now are $200,000. Okay, so just from the equity from some of the houses or the capabilities that I'll be having to, even if I were to sell some of them, if I got them back, I would be financially okay. I'd be financially okay. And I had talked to Ted about the James house, right? I actually built that one. But I mean, you have to understand that. I mean, I was a busy guy back in those days, okay? But I mean, hey, I got a lot of life left. Hey, I'm 68. I got a lot of life left, and I'm going forward. Okay. So, hey, is there something you wanted to talk about, Nicole?
Well, I don't have much time because I got to get on. I'm jumping on another podcast in like 10 minutes. I did want to talk about the Tupac trial, if you guys have been watching it, but it's not really enough time.
Yes, it is. 10 minutes. What do I think about it? Okay.
Watching it?
Yeah, what do I think about it? This is what I think about it, okay? I think that this guy, Keefe D, okay? Keefe D told on his own self, okay? Keefe D told on his own self. He should have kept his mouth shut, okay? And since he because I mean, to be honest with you, okay, I didn't know it was that many Crips that talked to the police. I was like, God dang, these boys be talking to the police for real.
They said that that there was a lot of police officers working for what's his name? The dead who?
For Death Row, for Suge Knight.
The Suge Knight, right?
Yeah.
But uno momento, por favor. We not talking about the Bloods. We talking about the Crips. Okay. You understand? We're talking about Bad Boy label. Okay, we're not talking about Death Row. We're talking about Bad Boy label.
There was hella people on Death Row label that was talking to the police that were actual informants, like Keefe D.
No. Okay, Keefe D is with Bad Boy. Keefe D is he's not with Death Row. He's a Bad Boy. Keefe D is a Crip. Huh? Yes, he is too. You gotta listen. Hey,
I know he's a Crip or Blood. I just know he's from LA. He's from that side. I know he's not from Death Row, but he was gangbanging.
He was with Bad Boy. They was with Bad Boys, okay? They was with Bad Boys, okay? Because Trice, the one that got up on the stand, the dude that got up on the stand that got recruited on Southside Crips, okay, he was the first one that they started talking to, and this dude had switched over to become a DEA, drug enforcement agent, and he was trying to bust Keefe D. He was a Crip.
There was hired by Bad Boy to kill Tupac and Suge.
Okay, I couldn't follow you on that one. I didn't hear you. What you say?
Was he hired by Bad Boy to kill Tupac and Suge, or was he with Bad Boy? As far as I know, he wasn't with Bad Boy. You're with Bad Boy if you're like rapping, if you're Biggie, if you're Mace. Okay. Then you're with Bad Boy.
Okay, there's two groups. Okay, you got Death Row, okay, and you got Bad Boy. Now Death Row was Suge Knight, okay, Tupac, okay, and then you had Bad Boys. Bad Boys, they are with the dude that just went to prison, that went to federal prison, Diddy. They were Diddy, okay? Okay, they were Diddy, but now here it is, just like Death Row, okay, they were a lot of Crips. They were a lot of Crips. Okay, I mean, excuse me, there were a lot of Bloods. Excuse me, there were a lot of Bloods. There were a lot of Bloods. Like Tupac was a Blood. Okay, Tupac was a Blood.
Well,
Now,
let's watch this real quick because she's getting
okay,
ready to leave. She's getting ready to go off and go, she got to take care of something. So let's watch this real quick before she goes.
The end of week one in the Tupac Shakur murder trial today brought more testimony and another police interview recording with the accused talking about
can you turn it up
his
some,
role
Cat?
in the killing. Eyewitness News investigative reporter Kevin Ozebek here with some of those dramatic outbursts in court
As
today.
far as it
Kevin?
goes.
And Michelle, there were
Okay.
two just extraordinary moments in the courtroom today. One involved the playing of audio in which Dwayne Keefe D. Davis told investigators he expected to get paid by Sean P. Diddy Combs after Tupac's death. The second was when Keefe D. stood up, pointed at the prosecutor, and scolded him. Dwayne Davis gets the judge's attention and then unleashes.
I get beat up by the cops. The guy attacked me in here, sent me to prison. This is just wrong. And it's mostly this guy.
This guy, being the prosecutor, fires back.
For the record, I think he's indicating he's upset I'm prosecuting him for murder.
During day 5 of the state's case against Davis, street name Keefe D., the jury listened to another long audio recording of the former gang leader speaking to investigators. This is audio from 2009 of Davis describing
Keefe D.
driving
speaking
up
to
Tupac
this is
Shakur
Keefe D.
Suge
speaking to the
Knight's
police.
BMW.
What happened when you pulled up alongside?
Shoot. No, you're not being clear. He asked you, you said got to shooting. What do you mean got to shoot?
Who got to shoot?
Rondo.
Davis there is referring to his nephew, Orlando Anderson, as the one who pulled the trigger. Sean Combs' name also comes up repeatedly in this audio.
After we was like, damn, we get paid now.
Okay.
But when you say paid, been paid by Puffy, right?
Yeah.
In these interviews with investigators, Davis says Combs solicited a hit on his rival record label owner Suge Knight of Death Row Records, which Tupac was signed to. Combs has repeatedly denied any involvement in Tupac's death and has never been named a suspect. The jury also looked at clips from a docu-series that aired on BET.
Who shot Tupac?
To keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the backseat, bro.
As that soundbite is played, Davis watches with intensity. And look at Davis's reaction as prosecutors ask this of the filmmaker.
Was your show scripted at all?
No, and I pride myself in making sure that my work meets the strictest journalistic standards.
So you see Davis there kind of shaking his head like, yes, it was scripted. Now, Davis maintains that he was not even in Vegas the night Tupac was shot. That's his story now. He's pled not guilty. As for his nephew, Orlando Anderson, he died in an unrelated gang shootout 2 years after Tupac was killed. Sean Combs right now is behind bars in New York State for an unrelated charge. The trial continues next week on Monday. Live in the studio, Kevin Ozebek, ABC 7 Eyewitness.
Okay, so let me make this point before I hop on. So my thing is that PPD did tell on himself. He told on himself in that documentary. He told on himself on the Vlad. He's been on every interview he's done. He's been telling on himself. And my thing is, they're having this problem now, 30 years later, and they already knew who did years ago. The guy that everybody thought did it is the one who did it. The one that Tupac beat up in the casino that very same night. So it's ridiculous that they knew this, meaning the police, the detectives, the FBI, whoever, and they knew full well who did it. Even Suge Knight knew who did it years ago. And this is just now coming to justice. That was one of my points.
Well, let me say this. Okay. Now, what TPD's defense is that he was selling a book. He was trying to sell his book, so he was trying to build up publicity, and that what he said about that wasn't true. Even though he said that he was part of the clique. Okay, he said that the shot came from the back seat of the car that he was in. He was in the front seat. Okay. Now that there, now everybody that was in the car with him is dead except for him. He's the only one that's still alive. Is him. Everybody else is dead. They somehow or another they died. So and now he's saying that because of what the prosecution is doing, that there's people that's trying to assault his family members because of the.
Nobody cares about that.
Huh? I can't hear you that well. I can't hear you that well, Nicole. Did you push a button or something? I can hear you, but it's echo. It's breaking up.
Well, I was saying, hopefully the audience can hear me.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. So, yeah, he was saying that they were attacking him. Nobody feels sorry for TPD. So, nobody, as far as I know, nobody cares that his family is getting attacked, his house is getting attacked, any of that. But just watching the trial, it doesn't even look really like a real trial. Like they're
It's
really
a trial. It's a trial. I've been in trial. I've been in trial in Vegas before. It's real.
No, it's real, Tina. What I'm saying is there's no real defense and there's no real prosecution. And the people that I've seen get on the stand, nobody has said, is this the guy that shot Tupac? Nobody has said, did you see this man in the car that shot Tupac? That should be questioning for every single person that was there that night and that saw what happened. That didn't even happen. They're bringing up a lot of people that were not there at the scene of the crime, like the guy who made the documentary. But I can see bringing him up because he at least made the documentary. I think they should bring Suge Knight to the trial too. I don't see why they're not subpoenaing him.
He won't come. They subpoenaed him. He won't come. They subpoenaed Suge Knight. He will not come. Yep. Huh?
In jail, he won't come?
No. He said he's not coming. Suge said he ain't getting involved in that stuff.
He's called in and spoke on almost every platform that he can. So I don't know why he's not going to trial. He's already said on different platforms that Keefy D told him that he killed Tupac, that he shot Tupac.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Okay. Here it is. Suge Knight is doing hella time already. Suge Knight not fixing to go in there. He said whoever forces him, the prosecution or the defense, whoever forces him to show up in trial are going to regret it because he's going to demolish the case. He says he's not there. He's not there to try to find out who murdered Tupac. He said he's not trying to find out that.
Knew, which makes me believe that he was in on it because even though he got shot too, I don't understand how he didn't bring all hell for his best friend. He turns over his best friend that got shot that night, and he knew who he was. He was part of the documentary. The Tupac documentary where PPD was telling all that he did. So why wouldn't he come to the trial? He's been calling in, speaking on all of that. Why not come to the trial?
I don't know, but that's all I wanted to say about. That's all I wanted to say about KVD. But I mean, I've been looking at it, but I mean, KVD put himself in a bad situation. But what they're trying to charge him with is being involved in Tupac's murder. They're not trying to charge him with murdering Tupac. They're trying to involve him with being the orchestrator of the hit.
I know he wasn't the shooter, but still the question would still be, did you see this man in the car that shot Tupac? Did you see who shot Tupac? None of those questions have been asked to any of the witnesses. But thank you for letting me know and join you. I appreciate it.
All right. Be good.
Yep. All
so,
right.
Yeah. So is there anything particular that you wanted to talk about, Ted?
Not really, but we can talk about. Well, actually, there was a big fight yesterday, and pretty good fight. And I didn't see it, but I seen the results of who won the fight, and that was
all right.
That was Teofimo Lopez versus, I should say, Rolly Romero versus Teofimo Lopez, right? And that was a I didn't see the fight, but I heard it was a pretty good fight, and it went 12 rounds. And Teofimo Lopez beat Rolly Romero for his welterweight championship. So yeah, and that's basically what was going on yesterday. So you know, good. I mean, it was a fight for the fight fans. It was obviously a pretty good fight. Like I said, I didn't see the fight, but I heard that the fight was pretty good. So yeah, and well, let's see. We can go and take a look at some of the highlights. I'm sure that would be okay. Since the fight is already in play. Well, I guess I'm not even going to do it because these folks be tripping sometimes on copyright infringement. I don't even want to go there. But
All right, I can dig it. I can dig it. But you have to understand that. See, the thing about boxing, okay, in my opinion, boxing is a kind of cricket sport, okay? I think it's one of the more cricketer sports. Male boxing, I think, is one of the more cricketer sports that there is in the United States of America. Now with me, okay, I look at it like this, right? Me, I'm doing things in the direction that I'm going, and the things that I'm doing are starting to be pretty much in alignment with the things that I've said and the things that I've been saying. But now at the same time, you have to realize that a lot of time has passed and there's different things going on. And just like as far as the investigation that I was talking about with San Bernardino, you have to understand that, you know what I'm saying, with some of these ones that's investigating, by what's been indicated to me, they think that some higher up officials are probably ones involved in the law enforcement, might even be involved, ones involved in law enforcement. So they're not, you know what I'm saying, they're not trying to rush an investigation. They started the investigation in August of last year, so it's been going on for about a year now. But yeah, so the guy, his name is Ward. The actual investigator on my case, his name is Ward. And here it is, right? I'm glad that they're doing an investigation, because with them doing an investigation, it takes the spotlight off of, well, I'm just saying this and there's nothing going on. Now, even though I'm saying it, there's something going on, and that's been helpful. Now, as far as what was going on with me, see what I'm saying? I believe that there's ones that's been going kind of slow about things, but does that bother me? Not particularly. I mean, my main focus is I'm going to make sure that I stay out of trouble. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I get as much information as I can. I'm going to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, my book, which is coming out, which is titled You Already Know Me, I'm going to try to make it to where it's a good platform for my book, because they have these book fairs. Okay, they have a book fair just about every month in different parts of the United States of America. And they have one, I believe, next month that's down towards the Los Angeles area. And then they have one in October, which is in Las Vegas. I think I'm going to make the Las Vegas trip with my book. And hey, you know, it's a lot of things that a lot of people might disagree with. But I mean, that's me. I'm just putting the truth out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting the truth out there. And hey, I feel good about it.
Listen. I hear you saying that you're putting the truth out there. We just watched some footage of the Chavez versus Taylor fight.
Yeah.
And you say that you're Taylor, and the footage that's you. I don't think that's the truth. Okay.
Okay.
I don't think that's the truth. That would be, I would tread lightly on trying to get people to believe that we just saw the footage, and that's Mildred Timber. That's not you.
Okay, this is what I would like to say.
We talked about it already. We had 20 minutes of the conversation.
No. Okay, well, okay. Do you think Lennox Lewis is Lennox Lewis' real name? Lennox Lewis, the boxer. Do you think that's his real name?
I don't know.
That's a stage name. That's a stage name. His real name is Michael. Now, the thing about it is that fights like that, what proves it? These things right here, your fingerprints. Your fingerprints is what proves it. All the other stuff is just hype. It's a whole bunch of other stuff. This is what proves it right here. The fights are fingerprinted. So I'm not going to worry about. Like I say, there's an investigation going on, and that's one of the things that'll be looked into.
Well,
I'm not
I
worried.
hope I hope the investigation would hurry up and get done. Okay, because
Well,
it doesn't seem like it takes a year of investigating some stuff.
yeah.
It shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take that long. If you're going to
Well,
investigate certain things, it shouldn't take that long. For a whole
mhm.
year to make an investigation, to me, it doesn't. It shouldn't take that long. If a
Well,
person wanted to discover a person's, being on the footage of a fight, and that
mhm.
person's supposed to be, him, it shouldn't take that much. Okay, so I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, you can, you can say what you
Oh
want to say,
wow!
but
I've been missing. I've been missing the football game. Go ahead. I'm
yeah.
listening.
Well, no, I'm just, I mean, I don't want to get too much into it, but I figured that we would leave this hour to have conversation about certain things. Last week it was Jay Leno, which was a good thing. This
Yeah.
week is King New Shoes Peanut. Okay, well, we talked about it. I think we can, we can move on from that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying.
I
I
can
get
dig
what
it.
you're
I can
saying.
dig it.
I get what you're saying, and I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate you sharing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what but I just hope that things work out and that the
Oh,
investigation will hurry up and be over with. Because I
yeah.
don't know, police officers. That's manpower. It don't take a lot of money.
That's man
To
hours.
man
Man
hours, right?
hours.
Yeah, man hours. They take and then of course they're investigating you, so they must have a reason to investigate. There must be something that's going to be, uh, some reason for them to investigate what's going on with you.
Yeah.
And you being Melder Taylor is not something that I'm sure that they want to take the time out to investigate. If
Well, whatever they're investigating, I mean, I'm happy that they're doing it. I mean,
no,
I'm
no,
I'm not gonna. I'm not trying to
you
rush
came
them.
to them. You came to them, right? You took it
Huh?
to them. They didn't come to you. You came to
Of
them, right?
course. Of course.
Right. Yeah, yeah. You went ahead and you presented this here situation to them and said,
Right.
this is what's going on. So
Right.
basically, you were blowing some whistles, right? You
If
blow
that's what you want to
whistles.
look at it as.
Well, that's what it was. You was
That's.
blowing
I'm
whistles
trying.
about the,
I'm trying to get my. I'm trying to get my identity.
and I don't think this was the only time you've done that. You have a
Okay.
long, long history of
Uh huh.
saying this is what you do, that you make
Okay.
investigation. I've oftentimes said that maybe you
Mhm.
need to focus on your beautiful children that you have and
Oh,
grandchildren, as opposed to
I'm not.
as opposed to going on this, this stuff that you're going on. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know, but you want to keep bringing it up, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna echo the same thing over and over and over
Uh huh.
in terms of what I think that you should be doing, for the next forever you got, whatever, however, yeah. So you should be focused on, yeah, you should be focusing on that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I
Well.
mean, I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
it seems to me at this particular stage in life, you would
Mm-hmm.
want to, kind of kick back. You see, like for
Uh-huh.
example, I'm gonna give you a good example. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that I was gonna just relax and take it easy and not even trip. I was happy with just living in a little old motorhome, going to work, going to church, going
Mm-hmm.
to Bible studies, and then
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden somebody decided they wanted to take all my stuff. I'm like, well, what the heck did I do? You know what I mean? So I had to come out of retirement. You know, yeah, of
Okay.
just not dealing with, just trying to be a person that helped lives, help change people's lives for the better. And I kept running into these little roadblocks, like saying, not just the taking of my property, but then,
Okay.
giving time to a certain church, and
Mm-hmm.
because they were emphatically saying that Jesus is God, and I wasn't, it was a problem there. I'm like, okay, well, you ain't gonna ever get me to say that Jesus is God when, according
Okay.
to the Bible, He's not.
All
I
right.
went ahead and left that church. And so this is what I do. I just I don't care about what people say. They can say anything they want to say. But when it comes down to things like telling the truth
Uh-huh.
and being delusional,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't go into the delusion. I got to call it for what it is, you know.
All right.
And just played the tape of Melvin Taylor getting ready to fight Julio Cesar Chavez, and you said that was you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go.
Okay.
So there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. But now this is a thing though. See, now as time goes on, okay, because time is something we can't stop. We can't stop time. No matter what we try to do, we can't stop time. Now, just like me, I mean, and just like my publishers, okay, and the writers and stuff that are working for me right now, okay, and they're saying, this is so interesting. And I say, well, I'm glad they find it interesting. But not only do they find it interesting, right? They wanted to, and they probably will end up doing it. Okay. Just like it's what's called a reporter profile. See, here's my contract. This is my contract with the people that's writing my book right here. Okay. And their bestseller. This is them, this right here. Bestseller Book Bureau. So now here it is. On this here, it says author profile. It says author profile. So what they're going to do is that they're going to go out on the internet and they're going to go out to different things. And just like this, they'll come out with trying to find out where the book writer, saying different, they had one today in, I believe, some part of Los Angeles for children's books, but this isn't a children's book. It's like a book fair. So here it is, right? And she says, you used to be famous. I says, yeah, I used to be famous. She says, that's good because we're going to build on that. We're going to build on that. We're going to work on that. And part of the author profile will be expressing that you used to be famous. I said, okay, that's fine.
So how
And
do you become unfamous? If you were
hmm,
famous once, how do you become unfamous?
that part,
Yeah. Oh, really? You should have said something. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. I was there. Yeah, I was there. Okay, good to see you. Yeah.
so,
So yeah, yeah. You should have said something. I mean, okay. Look.
uh-huh.
Um.
How did I become unfamous? That was your question.
Yeah.
How did I
Yeah.
become
Right.
unfamous?
Yeah.
Now,
Right. Yeah.
here
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is. Here it is.
How you become unfamous? In other words, if
Well,
you were
I mean,
famous once, how do you become? I used to be famous. How does that
okay.
happen?
The thing of used to be famous is that my fame stopped and it wasn't talked about. Okay. Now, as we're talking about it, even at this very moment, okay, there's ones that's like, wow, that's, and like if they're in their 60s or 70s or something like that, some of them are like, that's incredible. I remember that guy. That guy is still around. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. They may not have knew about the boxing part, but they may have known about the football part or something like that. But you have to understand that right now, see, I mean, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get it to be the words revealed, the things that I have once done. Okay. And if I don't make a lot of money, cool. If I make a lot of money, so be it. My thing is, I'm not fascinated with the United States of American values. See,
Okay.
these values over here in the United States of America really are not something that's real appealing to me.
Yeah.
My sense and my value is the things that's going to line me up with a really good, healthy, eternal or forever life.
Okay,
So
so
I'm
you need to quit stop you need to stop talking about this then because this is all man stuff. It's all about
right,
man. This
right,
ain't nothing
right.
that you're
Yeah,
talking about God. It's all
yeah,
about man.
yeah,
The
yeah.
book
That's like
so
my that's like my
so you contradicting yourself because you said you're all about God. Then you're talking about all this stuff that has to do with man stuff. Being
yeah.
famous and
Mhm.
being, talking about all that is contradicting what you've been saying. Okay, I want you to know that because you keep saying
Okay,
that you're all
okay,
about
okay.
God, and then you switch up and start talking about all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
what I'm saying is what I'm saying is that see, I'm fortunate enough to be able to express this stuff, and just like whatever happens, see what I'm saying? My desire is not to stay here and value the things that they value here in this country. My value is God is guiding me to go somewhere else to where I could have a better, you know what I'm saying, healthier, you know what I'm saying, life, however long it lasts, okay? And do the things that are beneficiary in that area. Now, just like with me, I mean, hey, so far it's going A plus, okay? So far it's going A plus, and and just like I'm glad things are working out for you as well. See what I'm saying? It's good. God has blessed you. Okay, God blessed you to where, hey, you got your car going and everything is fine and dandy. And now, you know, all you got to do is, you know what I'm saying, this you got that to your credit. You got that to your credit. God enabled you to do that.
Right,
Okay.
that's true.
And
That's
then,
true. God did enable me to do that. Right.
okay. Yeah.
And based on that God gave me,
Mhm.
okay, I can ride around in a car. You know, if I have the dollars that I get blessed with, I should not frivolously just throw it away. I should do things for people to help them,
Hey.
within their journey, right? And so if they can take that coming from God, it ain't about, it's not. You see, this is what I'm saying. It ain't about me writing a book because I used to be famous and want to be famous
Uh-huh.
again. You see, that's basically what you're saying. Oh, man, I used to be famous. I want to be famous again. That's not.
Hmm.
That's what man does, right? That's man's goal. You're saying that you're all about God. So how is it that you're all about God, but you want all this fame and fortune? Like
Well,
like man does,
what this this this
like man does.
this
And
is
then if
what
you
I'm
got
saying. Okay.
if you got fame and fortune, what you gonna do with the fame and fortune? Then what you
Well,
gonna do? You gonna do it? Are you gonna be a conduit for good, or you gonna be a connection to something else?
well, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna
To
make
bring
sure that I take good care of myself. I'm gonna make sure I do that because God has put that in my heart and mind. But
Yeah, so
now
how
the
you
thing
gonna so
about
how
it,
you gonna so what you gonna do to take good care of yourself? Well, sure, you don't need to have money to do that, do you?
well, you do have to have an amount of resources to be able to take good care of yourself. I believe that. Okay, just like me, I'm gonna go to places where I could get certain treatment that I can't get here. Okay, I'm gonna go to places where I could get a certain, let's say, uh, as far as medical and you know what I'm saying and things like that to where I can get things that are really super complimentary and that will probably have it to where I'm in better shape. Okay. And so
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure I take good care of myself. That's what I am gonna do. Okay.
Okay. Well, you can take good care of yourself now, can you not?
I'm taking pretty good care of myself, I think. I
So
mean, under
fine.
the circumstances.
So under the circumstances,
Mhm.
you're able to take pretty good care of yourself now. Under the circumstances,
I'm doing
right?
okay. I'm doing okay. I could be doing better. I could be doing better. Something
Okay.
happening to my electricity around here. I'm trying to figure out what the heck it is. I'm listening to what you're saying, though. Go
No, I'm
ahead.
just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying because we're on this topic. So and we've spent a lot of time on this topic. We have done this before. Okay. Yeah, spend a lot of time, but we're gonna spend as much time on this topic today as you want. Okay? So I can say we spent a lot of time on this topic. See? So, but my question to you is
Uh-huh.
you're for God. That's what you said. I can play the tape. I got you on tape saying that.
Yeah.
And now you're saying that you have this desire to be famous.
Mhm.
To be famous and to have riches, man's riches. you know. And just to take good care of yourself is not good enough. It can be better. I mean, that's what I thought I heard you say.
Well,
You know,
you have to understand. You have to understand that by me acquiring those things, I can take better care of myself, and that way, I will use
let me
it to that benefit.
let me ask you a question. What would you
Mhm.
do? What would you get that can help you take better care of yourself?
Well, one of the things I would go to a place to where
No,
they
no,
understand.
you said you go to a place.
Yeah,
So in other words, you would have to travel somewhere
yeah,
to get something that you can't get where you're at right now.
yeah,
What would
exactly.
that be? What would that be?
Well, that would be more comfort, and that would be better medical treatment. Ones that understand edema and treat edema more diligently, because I shouldn't have lost my feet. They should have went on and treated me, but they weren't experts with edema and different things like that. So I would go places to where they understand that better. And I go to places where they understand my structure better, so that way I could get better treatment health wise, and then that will give me a better chance to have a longer, healthier life. Okay, I don't want them to be looking at me as being mentally ill. I don't want them to be looking at me under those false lights and those false impressions.
So do they look at you as being mentally ill?
Now, no, they were,
Okay.
yeah.
So when you say that you are Mildred Taylor,
Mhm.
and you found Julio Cesar Chavez, you don't think that that's a alarm that there's some mental issues going on with you?
No, see, we've already gotten past that. Just like me saying I
Who
play
is we?
professional sports.
Who is we? Who is we?
The police and stuff.
Oh,
Okay,
listen,
if you call the police right now, and they will say, "Look, we're doing an investigation," they might look into somebody that's calling the police. So it's by what they're telling me. They say, "Okay, well, let them call, and then that way we could get more information." So that's what I do. If they want to call them, call them. That way they can get more information.
Well, you know what, man? Look, you can do whatever you want to do. I get
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
But to me, if you're trying to keep yourself out of trouble, you need to
Yeah.
leave the police alone. You need to leave this
Oh.
investigation. Yeah.
No,
You need to
I'm
leave
gonna let
okay.
the police do their job. I'm gonna let the police do their job. I'm
They're
not
not
gonna
going to do nothing.
interfere with it.
They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to do
Well,
anything.
it's yet to be seen. It's yet to be seen.
Well, what happened?
It's yet to be seen. Okay. So as far as things are going, hey, I'm going in the right direction, and I'm glad I am. Okay, I really am. And hey, it's just like my book, because I got to get these book fairs lined up, because they say, well, if you go into these here people, my publishers, right, Bestseller Bureau, and they said, well, if you're going to book signings, we need to know about that, because you have co-writers, just like this woman named Monica who's co-writing the book, and you have other ones that may want to be there. And I say, okay, I'll let you guys know what book signings and different things I'm going to, because they have to set all that up, and then they have to do an author profile. And they say, hey, this here the stuff that you're doing and the things you're saying, that's real interesting. And just like they talked it over with some other book people, and some other book people say, you know what, this guy is going about it in a way that is really pretty interesting. And hey, we like it. And I said, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make sure that I stay up on things and keep things going in the right direction. No, it's not, it's not a big, heavy thing. It's just a thing that, certain things need to be said. And there's certain ones that are starting to come around to say, well, hey, there may be something to what you're saying, Mr. King.
No,
You
they're
should
not.
speak.
There's nobody coming around saying that. There's nobody
Yeah, it
saying
is.
that. There's not. There's nobody coming around saying
Okay.
that.
Okay.
You need to
654.
think clearly, because nobody is
Uh-huh.
going to listen. Let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
If I say I'm Barack Obama, are you gonna listen to me?
Am I going to listen? I'll probably listen to you, but I probably wouldn't think they're Barack Obama.
Correct.
I'll keep it on.
Very, very good. Just like I don't think that you're Mildred Taylor.
That's fine. That's fine. One of the things that I've told you already, it relies on these right here. What my mouth say and what your mouth say doesn't mean nothing. It relies on these fingerprints. Okay, that's what it relies on. So that's
okay. Well, I don't know what fingerprints you're talking about when it comes to Mildred Taylor.
Whoever fought the fight. Okay, they have the fight. They have the recording. They have the documents in Las Vegas. Okay. Whoever fought the fight, they had to give up their fingerprints to do so, because it's a unification fight. Okay? So you have to give up your fingerprints. So that's what we're going to go by. We're not going to go by what I say or what anybody else says. Okay. And hey, here it is, man. Here it is. I'm watching this preseason game, right? And here it is, man. The Seahawks got their tail beat last time, right? But they're winning this one. They're beating the Titans.
It's preseason. It's preseason, so it really don't count.
It's preseason, right? It's preseason. Yeah.
Okay.
It's preseason.
Man, so listen. I hope you got your message out, right? You got your message out. We don't have to revisit this, do we? You got your
Nah,
message out. No, no,
I'm cool.
you got your
I'm
message out.
cool.
You got what, 45, 50 minutes of this message that you're trying to, and more than that, really, you know. And
Okay.
so I think, if you want to, go to, share this video with whomever you need to share it with. You get to, so people can, that want to help you,
Uh-huh.
find your fingerprints at Meldrick Taylor. They can,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
because that's
Not
basically
to
what you're
not
saying.
to worry. Not to worry, Ted. Hey, I've been in this all by myself all this time, so I don't expect for anybody to be joining up with me. I'm doing this, not somebody else. And I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, hey, I know what I'm doing. I got the steps pretty well down packed. Okay. If it was the cha-cha, I would be a professional cha-cha player or a
Okay.
professional cha-cha dancer. So look, we
All
got
right.
like 3 minutes. We got
Yeah,
3
I'm gonna
minutes.
pray us out now.
Okay.
Our Father,
Uh-huh.
who is Elohim, Allah,
Uh-huh.
Jehovah,
Uh-huh.
many names, but one God, the
Yeah.
Spirit, we humbly come to you in prayer and supplication,
Mm-hmm.
asking that you would heal and redeem our senses of understanding, knowing that we are just a small speck of the equation. This illusion of being famous is only illusion, because we as mere we as mere men of many can never be remembered like you can. And Mother Earth, in which we dwell on and provide so much for us, and you help her provide for us. And we humbly come to you in supplication and prayer, thanking you, helping helping us understand that only you can bring the everlasting life glory, that only you can give us peace and harmony. Only you can give us everything in which we need. And we humbly thank you for the things that you have given us, that we will understand that without you, you're nothing. You're only a speck in your eye. This we humbly pray. In your name, Jehovah, as Allah, as Elohim, the Father of all of us, and the mother of the bride who takes care of us, feeds us, clothes us, shelters us, and all your prophets and your saints, especially your darling Son, and gracious giver as the Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right,
Praise
bro.
Jesus.
I'm
Praise
done.
good. Much love, man. Hey, we'll get together next week. You think we'll be doing it at 2 next week? Or you probably
Yeah.
have some things to do?
I don't know. We're gonna have something going on at 2 o'clock. If I have to do something earlier, we'll take the show and show that too. All right, my
Or
brother. You have a good one.
let me know. Hey, keep us
I'm gonna let
informed so
you
that we'll
know.
know.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. We had a good show
Okay.
today, so it didn't stop nothing. Okay. All
Good
right.
show.
God bless. Take care.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Talk to you later. Be